Hello everyone, I'm going to be giving another little story time about me as an actor, and really this one's going to be like a lesson. So a lot of people will shun background work, but in this story I'm going to share, it's going to give you a little inspiration and a little kind of insight as to why you shouldn't. So for my very first ever SAG contract, I actually got it because I was background, or I applied to be background, and I ended up going through something called being upgraded or being promoted. And when that happens on set, it's because the director needs you to do something, learn lines or do some type of choreography that would require some type of training, some type of practice in order for it to come out smoothly. It's not just something spontaneous that they can just have you do on a whim and expect it to still look good. Okay, Bonnie may be kind of joining in the background. Anyway, I had submitted to be background. I didn't even know what the movie was because at the time it was still going under an alias. So a lot of times when these bigger productions are trying to keep a little bit quiet because there are crazy fans out there, they will have the movie or the casting call for background or whatever go under an alias to keep from being flooded with just nut jobs. So I just picked a random one and they asked, I believe it was, if you're comfortable with dancing, what kind of dance can you do? No, I think it was just like basic photos. Like I was supposed to be like a clubbing girl. And I sent in my photos. I looked so cute. I heard something back along the lines of like, oh, can you also dance as well out of curiosity? Or are you comfortable dancing? I'm thinking like a little... To which I'm like, yeah, I'm totally comfortable with that. I have no problem with that little, Scarlett Johansson jig. So basically it ended up, at the time I was working for an aeronautical company. I think that was like my little part-time job. But there came a point where, I had this job and I was so bored. I was so miserable. I'll be honest, because it was just like, it wasn't that invigorating. And then there wasn't a lot of opportunity for growth either. So I sat there, I was just like randomly scrolling through my email. And I swear to you, it was like at 4:44 is when I opened my email, because I'm one of those. I opened it up and I see a congratulations. I'm like, first of all, like, it's never that serious. It's just like, okay, here's your booking time, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, and you've been director selected or director pick, which basically means, and sometimes I take it with a grain of salt. I feel like they're just picking whoever kind of looks or submitted the quickest, but you never know. It turns out I actually was director selected, but you've been director selected to be in this scene for, I think it was El Dorado was the code name at the time. And then so I looked it up and I was like, oh shit, this is for Suicide Squad. So I was like, okay, congratulations. The director needs you to learn choreography, which means a SAG contract. Like, it was in big, bold red letters. Like, that's one of those, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually ended up getting this type of situations. And so I was like, yes, super available, super can dance, super can do whatever you need to do. And then from there on out, I just gave them my information needed to fill out my very first SAG contract, and I was on cloud nine. I was getting ready to clock out from work, like so bummed and so just annoyed because I missed being on set, and I always have those tidbits. So I'm like, I'll just submit to something because I'm bored. And it ends up being like the coolest thing ever. So that's what I always love about being on set. It's always something unexpected and very invigorating. For the rehearsals, we were actually with Palm Klimoth. I hope I'm saying her name right, but she is who plays Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy. And she had kind of like, James Gunn likes to do these fun little cameos, I notice, with actors that he works with very frequently. So I was essentially kind of like a dancer for her cameo, and we learned this choreography together, which was very interesting. From there on out, essentially, I became what would be SAG eligible, meaning because I had the SAG contract under my belt, and if I wanted to, I can go ahead and join directly after that. It was my very first time having a cute little trailer with my name on it and having the craziest hair and makeup. I was like super sexy and everything. It was fun, and it was also really cool seeing, like, one of my idols as a kid, for whatever reason, I loved John Cena. I think I just thought he was really cool. Oh, the big one, Idris Elba. Oh my God, he is so beautiful in person. And this just goes to show, don't ever shit on background because you never know. And that's something that's valid. I could essentially use that little clip of me dancing for, I believe, for my skill set for dancing. And it has helped me get other dance auditions as well. So one of those things that you never know how one thing can lead to another. So thank you guys so much for listening to my little tidbit, my little story of how I ended up on my very first DC film and kind of what I did. And obviously from there on out, I was able to get some more like DC auditions once I got an agent and everything. So, but that's pretty much it. Let me know if you've ever been promoted on set or if you've ever had the opportunity to, or kind of what experience you've had working on set, even just being background, because I'm never one to shun it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And in the comments, be sure to share if you've done any background before or if you've had any similar experiences that were kind of like funny nuances when it came to you just beginning as an actor or nuances on set in general. But thank you guys so much for supporting me and be sure to stay tuned for my next video. Bye!